What is up and welcome back to Set. Guys, this is week 4. You're here. You're in the last stretch of it. So for today's workout, we have an upper body slow burn. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to jump into that warm up, and then I'm going to tell you what you can expect for today. All right, go ahead and join me. We're going to do some inchworms. So come on out, walk it out into that high plank. There you go. Walk it back in. Now remember, if you need to modify, you are simply bending your knees all the way down and you're coming down to that modified plank position, but you're keeping everything tight. Keep going for me. Your core is in tight, your glutes are tight, all right? I'm gonna talk about today's workout. Don't worry, I will tell you when you need to switch and I will tell you what's coming up. So today's workout, slow burn. We have 2 rounds. The first round has 6 moves. These moves are done 40 seconds of active work, 20 seconds of an iso hold, and then 20 seconds of a rest, all right? Round number 2 only has 3 moves plus a power hold, okay? The 3 moves are 30 seconds each. 3, 2, 1. Bring those elbows in right here. We have external rotation. Now remember, for this move, I want you to really focus on bringing those elbows in tight, okay? Don't let them flare out. Try and keep them straight on to your ribs and your sides the whole time, okay? So only go as far as you can. Whatever that limit is, that's where I want you to stay. Remember, your ribs are down, your abs are in tight. Don't let your back arch for this, okay? Back to the workout. Round 2, 3 moves, 30 seconds each, followed by a power hold for another 30 seconds, okay? And then you're done. Round 1, we repeat twice. Round 2, only once through, okay? And then you're done. And then you're done, and you have started week 4 off to an amazing start. 3, 2, 1, shoulder rolls for me. Go forward. Now, as you go forward, really think about opening your upper back and really stretching through that, okay? Now, make sure that during this whole time, again, you're not letting your back round or arch. You're keeping everything in tight, all right? Now, we will have some moves that do need to be performed on the ground. One in particular where we will lay down on our back. So if you need a towel, a mat, something like that, please feel free to go ahead and grab it. Additionally, we will be having what we're gonna do it during the warm-up. So don't worry, you'll get a little sneak peek of it, but we have done it before. It's called a Y raise. Remember, this is where you're going at an angle, but you're bent over, all right? 3, 2, 1. Lat pull down right here. Right here. Here we go. Now make sure that as you're doing this lat pull down, that you are bringing your shoulder blades in together, okay? You want to pinch them together. Remember, your ribs are down, your core is in tight. Don't let it move, don't let it go. Slight bend in those knees, all right? Now this Y raise, it's actually going to be what we're going to do next for our warm-up, okay? Remember, if you do it during the warm-up and you start to notice that you're like kind of arching your back or you're trying to get out of form, don't do it with weight during the actual exercise, because remember, we will have 20 seconds of an iso hold. I don't want you to perform this move with weight if you cannot do the form properly. I promise you, you will still get work if you have to drop weight, okay? And I will definitely talk more about that. 3, 2, 1, Y raise. So go ahead for me. Set your feet. You're gonna hinge at your hips, okay? It's not a squat. Your chest is over the ground. Your back is flat. You're not arching and you're not rounding, okay? Back is flat. Abs are in tight. Your thumbs are going up towards the ceiling and back down. All right? Now, let me talk through, as you guys are doing this, a couple of things when it comes to this form. Some things that I tend to notice is that when people are doing this, they'll kind of come up with it. Notice how at that point, my shoulders aren't doing the work. I think my shoulders are doing the work because my arms are going up, right? But they're not doing the work. Additionally, some things that I notice is that people will come up with their head and back down, or they'll do that where they shove their head down because for some odd reason we feel like we're getting our arms up higher if we do that. I want to make sure that you guys know, especially if you work at a desk job or you're on your phone a lot and you tend to be looking down on a computer, on a laptop, anything like that, you guys are the ones that this exercise is significantly going to help, but you guys are also the ones where your muscle groups are significantly, in a sense, compromised to where this move is gonna be just a little bit difficult for you, okay? 3, 2, 1, relax, move around. Real quick to hit back on that. It's because of the way that we sit at our desks with that posture, we have that rounded posture as we work at our desks. These muscles become very weak just due to that posture, okay? They get stretched out and they become weak, which is why they can't help perform a lot of the moves that need to be done. That's why certain things will start to hurt. That's why you can get, like that pinching sensation up there. Maybe you get some tingliness, numbness down one of your arms, etc. Those things contribute to poor posture. I mean, there's other things that can contribute to it, but in a sense, talking about just exercise right now, and that Y raise is meant to target the group of muscles that help you and are supposed to get stronger for that, okay? So a couple things that you can do, especially with this move, make sure that try it without weight. If you need to, start low weight first, okay? Nothing heavy. The most I go is 10s. That is the highest I will choose to go with this move. You don't need a lot, okay? We're gonna jump in. Sorry, I've been rambling. We're gonna jump in. Round 1, our first move is a shoulder fly. So you're gonna be in like this, very similar to our external rotation for that warm-up. Slight bend in your knees, your feet are underneath your hips. Ribs are down, core is in tight. All you're doing is a fly up, all right? Now here's the thing, as you fly up, don't arch back, okay? Again, everything's in tight. You're focusing just on your shoulders, doing the motion, and that's it, okay? Try and keep your elbows at 90-90. You're going to shoulder height or just below, not above, all right? Then we will have a bicep curl. We are gonna go ahead and get started, actually. And I will tell you guys more moves as they come. I will always show form. I will always show modification and advancement. Go ahead and grab your weight for me. We have those shoulder flies in 3, 2, 1, go up. Now, I'm using 10s. Here's the thing. If you're like, oh, but I can use heavier. I know that I can use heavier. I know that I can do this weight. Remember that we're going for 40 seconds of active, and then we have 20 seconds of an iso hold, okay? So here's something that I want you to remember. Your muscles are gonna get a little bit more work in them, because I want you to make sure that you're not just like, boom, boom, right? I want you to make sure that you're taking it nice and controlled. Up, 1, 2, 3, down, 1, 2, 3, okay? So you're taking the movement a little bit more controlled. 3, 2, 1, hold right here. Especially for this part, because I don't want this to happen and I don't want this to happen. Now, here's the thing. Additionally, with the weight, you don't want to lift too much. 3, 2, 1, relax. Bicep curls coming up. Go ahead and grab your weights. Here's the thing, especially with moves for the shoulder, when we hold them in that very contracted state, especially, that state right there, you can put your shoulder at a risk for shoulder impingement. Go, 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 right here. You can put your shoulder at a risk for shoulder impingement, especially if you're going too high and with too much weight at that. So I want you to make sure that as you're doing moves like that, you're going shoulder height or just below. Listen to your shoulders, okay? Especially if you have issues with your shoulders, listen to them. They will give you the information. They'll signal to you when enough is enough. But using too much weight can also put your shoulders at risk. So make sure that you're listening to your body, especially when we're doing things like this. You have 9 seconds before we hold, all right? You want to make sure that you're listening to your body, okay? Make sure you're taking the moves nice and controlled. Hold 90 degrees right here if you need to. Kickstand back. If that's too much, drop weight to something lighter. You're almost there. You got 10 seconds, okay? Stick with me. Stick with me. Fight through the burn. Don't let them drop. Don't let those elbows move. Almost there. 2, 1. We have bent over row, all right? You're gonna grab your weight, hinge at your hips, all right? Your chest is over your ground, weights in your heels, right here. Up to your ribs, back down. Not up to your shoulders or to your armpits, okay? Right underneath that chest line. We go in 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Weights in your heels right here. Now make sure that your abs are in tight, okay? Make sure that you don't have an arch, so you should not be like this, okay? You should be like this. It's bent over for a reason, okay? Weights in your heels. Make sure you're squeezing your glutes, okay? I know that might sound like I can't do all these things at once, but really, really try to focus on squeezing your glutes, because when you do that, you're also going to kick on your abs just a little bit more in this position, because now you're trying to really get everything in one position, right? So as you're doing that, your abs are going to kick on just a little bit more. And I want to make sure that you are using those abs to help protect your low back during this move, okay? 2, 1, hold. Right here. There we go. There we go. Weights in your heels. If you're feeling it in your low back, I want you to rotate your hips. Right? Engage your core. Engage your core. Pull it up if you can. A little bit higher. 2, 1, relax. All right, this is where we have that Y raise, okay? So again, hinge, start down, go up, all right? 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and hinge, same thing, weights in your heels, up. Now, let me talk through some form. Keep going for me. Keep going for me. Again, make sure that the only thing moving here is your shoulder, okay? When we lift up, we are making our back, our low back, especially in our hips, do the work for us, okay? Next thing that I want to make sure that you are focusing on, engage your core. Yes, it's there to protect your low back, but it's also there to help as you come down with gravity. 2, 1, I want you to hold right here. Now, if you're using weight and you feel like you cannot hold that shoulder height or just below that shoulder height, drop the weight. Use absolutely no weight. Hold it there and focus on contracting those back muscles, okay? You're almost there. 3, 2, 1, relax. Chest press. Go ahead and come on down. Remember, during this move, low back stays flat against that ground, okay? So rotate and hold. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, now I want to talk about where we'll be holding for this, so keep going. During the actual iso, you're going to come down here, and your elbows are going to hover above the ground, okay? Make sure that as you're doing the move, your elbows already come down and hover, okay? Again, rotate your hips. Your back should be flat. You should not be able to put your hand underneath. All right, you got 10 seconds until we hold. Keep going for me. Make sure that back is flat, your core is engaged. Modification for this, you're just dropping down weight, okay? Listen to your body. If you want to advance the move, you can go up into a glute bridge, or you can extend a leg. 2, 1. There you go, hold. You might start feeling it stretch in your pecs, that's okay. Try and keep that 90. Don't let your hands come in. Don't let them flare out. Protect your elbows here. 3, 2, 1, relax. All right, guys, last move before we repeat everything over again. Tricep push-up, all right? Remember, your elbows will hug your ribs, okay? Modification, you're gonna perform from your knees, okay? We go in 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Up. Now remember, your gaze is about 3 to 5 inches in front of your hands. If you're modifying, you're coming here, abs are still in tight, okay? Glutes are still tight right here, right here. Now, one thing I want to point out, if you are a postpartum lady, and if you've checked, if you haven't checked, please make sure that you are watching. Watch that midline, okay? I want to make sure that if you have DR, planks can sometimes be good for people with DR. It just depends on the individual and the degree of separation. However, if you are noticing coning or bulging in any of the plank positions, 2, 1, hold. Hold low, hold low. If you are noticing any of that in any plank position, push up, planks, bear, anything like that, make sure that you are modifying down, okay? You're almost there. You're almost there. 5, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Awesome job. We have shoulder fly. We're going back from the top. You're doing so good, okay? Now remember, pick a weight that isn't too heavy. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we are. There we are. Now, keep going. One thing I want to talk about, make sure that your feet are hip width or a little bit wider, okay? Nothing excessive though, okay? Additionally, make sure that as you're doing this move, you're not like, arching back. I want to make sure that you have everything locked down. And the only thing moving is your shoulders, okay? Your shoulders are doing the work here. Knees slightly bent, ribs are down. You're almost there. We hold in 5, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Shoulder height or just below, nothing above. Check yourself right now. Is the weight in your heels? Are you rolling and tucking those hips? Are you engaging everything? 3, 2, 1. Relax. Bicep curl. Bicep curl. You got this. Remember, our counts are slow, okay? Our counts are slow. 3, 2, 1. Right here. There we go. Now, another thing. Same thing here. Make sure you have a slight bend in your knees. Feet same position. Weight is primarily in your heels. You're not arching back, okay? And you're not swinging. If you have to do this, let me tell you, your biceps are not doing the move primarily, okay? Lock in your elbows. You want to make sure that they're not too far back, not too far forward, right in midline, up and down. All right, for best contraction, you want to make sure that you aren't holding down and touching your thigh and that you're not bringing it up to your shoulder, okay? It's right before your shoulder, right before your thigh, all right? 2, 1, hold. 90, now bring those elbows in. Is your core contract? If you need to, bring those ribs down, okay? What I mean whenever I say bring your ribs down, sometimes when we're flared like this, your ribs are up here, and if you contract your core, you're gonna pull them down. 2, 1, relax, bent over row. You guys are doing so good. This is move 3. You're almost done with this round, okay? Now again, weight's primarily in your heels. You're hinging at your hips. Your chest is over the ground, okay? You're bringing it up just below chest line. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Engage your glutes. Squeeze your glutes here. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your glutes. Slow, slow, slow. Don't let gravity win. Don't let gravity win, okay? This is something, let me talk real quick. Keep going for me. Whenever we're doing moves like this, gravity is going to pull. That's why a lot of times the down motion of moves gets completely ignored because we're like, oh yeah, this is so easy. Just pull up. That's the hard part. Let it go down, But here's the thing. If you work to fight gravity on that down, you control the pace of it. 3, 2, 1. Hold here. Hold here. If you control how fast something goes down, you are working an eccentric contraction. And those contractions are the contractions where we see oftentimes the most gains in an individual. You're almost there. 3, 2, 1. We have Y raise. Y raise. You're doing so, so good. I am an advocate for eccentric contraction. When I used to work at a gym, I designed a whole program specifically around the 3 different types of contractions. 2, 1, right here. There we go, Y raise. Now, make sure again, shoulder height they're just below. And here's another thing, fighting gravity. If you engage your core and you fight gravity coming down, you are going to feel your core during this move. You're going to feel it because your core is trying to help you control that movement and help make you stable while you're fighting gravity. So do it. You'll feel your core flare on. You don't have to be doing sit-ups or crunches to get your core to work, okay? But back to that eccentric. Whenever you guys are in the gym, or if you guys see people doing like this, 2, 1, hold up here, hold here. If you need to, I want you to drop that weight all together. And when you guys drop the weight, make sure, again, right form, pull your shoulders back and down, okay? Don't have them up by your ears. Back and down. You're engaging all of those back muscles. You're almost there, you're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Good job, chest press. Chest press. But back to what I was saying. I'm gonna finish this thought eventually, I promise. When you guys see people doing that at the gym, they're really not doing much. 2, 1, because there is such a thing. There's muscle strength and muscle endurance, all right? There's a huge difference in that, all right? But when they're doing that, they're completely negating the eccentric move that muscle can do. So not only are they not getting the most gains that they probably can out of that move, the most work out of that move that they probably can, they're also setting their muscle up to not be as strong when it comes to doing certain moves. So basically, we have 5 seconds until we hold. For a bicep curl, the eccentric is when you lower. 2, 1, hold. And when they're ignoring that portion of the move, think about all the things that you do that require you to lower your arms, right? Picking up a kid and lowering them down, groceries, anything like that, a box. And if you can't help control that movement with, the muscle group that needs to work it, you're going to put yourself at risk for injury, right? 3, 2, 1. There we go. Or your body's going to start incorporating other muscles and cause compensations, which can then, again, put you at risk for injury. All right, we have tricep push-ups. Then you guys are done with this round and we move on to the second. 3, 2, 1, tricep push-ups. Here we go. Here we go. Core is in tight. Core is in tight. Make sure that it's there, okay? If you start to lose your core, you're gonna notice that low back is gonna round, okay? Don't let your low back try to do the move. Keep everything in a straight line, okay? Your head should not move, okay? Keep it straight. Don't turtle for me. Don't turtle. All right, keep everything in tight. You've got this. You're doing so good. You have 6 seconds until we hold, okay? Keep fighting for me. You guys are almost done with all of this upper body work, and then we get to move on to some abs, and then you're done. 2, 1, hold low, hold low. I know this one is hard. I know it is. I know holding low in this position is really hard, especially because let me tell you real quick, you're using your triceps, okay? 3, 2, 1, relax. You're using your triceps, and because of that, go ahead and move your weights out of the way. You don't need them for this next round. I want to make sure you don't potentially risk injury by hitting them, okay? The triceps are a really small muscle, but they can do a lot. But because of how small they are, they oftentimes don't get the work that they need. So I know that move can be really tough, but fight through moves like that, okay? Your triceps are gonna thank you later for it. All right. We have a little bit of a break here, so grab some water, do something. I'm gonna show you these 3 moves. Well, 4, but 3 of them need to be shown. Real quick, you have a bare leg extension. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. You're gonna lift up slightly. You're gonna kick a leg out. Kick. Now here's the thing. You wanna make sure that your knees come back to underneath your hips. Back stays flat. Then we have a plank to bear. All right, so you're in that plank. Walk into bear, walk out. Okay, then you'll have a plank with a leg raise. So we're going back, leg raise, just slight. It's nothing high. You're not kicking excessively. All right, and then we have a low forearm plank that we're gonna hold, okay? Every single move is just 30 seconds, but we go from one to the other. We have 20 seconds before we start. We go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, okay? So push through it, there's no breaks, all right? If your shoulders start to hurt, come on down. Low forearm plank, just hold it out. Go to child's pose real quick and hop back in. Whatever works for you, okay? 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and push up, extend. Here we go. Now, make sure, we'll talk modification real quick, but make sure for in general, again, knees come back to under hips, your core is engaged, you are flexing your foot, okay? So stretch with that foot flex back. Modification, you're gonna be on all fours, you're not gonna pop up. Right here, nice and slow, in and out, okay? We have plank to bear in 3, 2, 1. Hop out to that plank, step into bear. There we go, there we go. Right here, right here. Awesome job. Modification, you can do low, or not low, but modified plank, pop up, down. You're gonna get the same work, but you have to make sure you keep everything flat, okay? Everything's engaged, back is flat. You're almost there. We have plank leg raise coming up in 3, 2, 1. Stay in that high plank, leg raise. Now notice, I'm not lifting high, all right? Here's the reason. I wanna make sure that I'm keeping my core engaged. If I lift too high, now I'm using my low back to help pull my leg up, and I'm not letting my glutes do it, and I'm not letting my abs control it. All right, modification, again, you're just modified. Right here, right here. 3, 2, 1, come on down. Last move right here. Low forearm plank, hold, hold, hold. I want you to stay here with me. I want you to stay here with me. You're doing so good. You're doing so good, okay? Now, if you want to challenge, place your hands flat out, okay? We do this, which sometimes when we bring our hands in like this, we start to roll our shoulders. So placing your hands down flat is often best. And you want to try and make sure that you're pushing the weight out onto the side of your hand, okay? Do that. Abs, zip them up, bring them in, draw them in. Keep everything tight. Stay right here for me. Modification, you're just going from your knees. Engage your core. Engage your core. You're doing good. Hold here. Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Let it shake. If you're shaking, let it shake. Let it shake. Your abs are learning. Let them shake. Keep going. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your glutes. Engage, engage, engage. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Child's pose, guys. I made you hold that for a whole minute. Not just 30 seconds. Because I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. All right, you guys did so good. I know it wasn't, fast-paced, crazy workout, but sometimes you need to slow it down a bit, You need to really focus on the way a muscle can contract and really dig into that, because if you do, you're gonna see a lot of strength happen there. Go ahead, thread. So you're gonna bring one arm underneath, whatever arm's underneath, make sure that the palm is straight up for me, okay? Now you're gonna bring your chest, and how far you roll your chest onto your arm is going to help with that stretch in that shoulder, okay? And just go down as far as you can, listen to your body, do what feels good. Keep breathing for me. There we go. But remember that there is, like I mentioned earlier, there is a difference between muscle endurance and muscle strength. There's a huge difference. You train the muscles completely different for whichever one's your goal, okay? Go ahead and come on up. And what this program is for, remember, is strength endurance training, okay? That means that the way we're training the muscles are meant in a way to where you can lift a certain amount of weight and lift it for longer periods. Okay. To kind of explain a little bit, if you guys have ever seen the strength competitions or stuff like that where they're lifting the Olympic weights and Olympic lifts, they only do what? A couple of reps, maybe. Sometimes they do just one. Go ahead and come on up. And that, we're gonna do some cat-cow, okay? Because we work those back muscles a lot. Go ahead and push up for me. And that is when muscle strength comes in, okay? So that individual can lift a lot, right? They can lift a lot, come on down. They can lift a lot, however, they can't do it for that long, all right? Whereas, an individual like you or I, we can't lift as much. But go ahead and push up, push up, push up, push up. But we can lift a certain amount for longer periods. It's really interesting. If you bring one of them into the gym, because I know a lot of people are like, oh no, they can definitely lift how much I lift for longer. And it depends. It depends on how they train, because you'll see some people who, yes, they can lift these incredible weights for 1 or 2 reps. Push up one more time. But when it comes to doing a longer duration of lifting a certain weight that's less than that, they struggle. And it's just the way that they've trained their muscles. It's the way that the fast twitch works inside of the muscles. It's all those different things. Come back down to neutral for me. There we go. Go ahead and push up into down dog. So I know that sometimes we do all the crazy like Tabatas and all those things, but it is nice to also slow down and focus on the way that we contract the muscle to be able to contract it in the right way to get the desired result, okay? Now, if you're somebody and you're like, oh, Brie, I want that muscle strength. I want to lift a lot for 1 or 2 reps. Let me know. I can tell you exactly how you need to train in order to obtain that, okay? There we go. Go ahead and walk it in. There we go. That's why when a lot of women, they start doing weight training, they're like, oh, but I don't want to get big and bulky. That's why we try to tell them you don't have to. There are so many different ways that whatever your goal is, there's a certain way that you have to train. And that goes for weight loss, that goes for weight gain, weight maintenance, all of those things. There are certain ways that you have to train if you're wanting to have a certain type of goal. So just know that just because you lift weights doesn't mean you have to get big and bulky. If that's your goal, great. I'm for it. Go for it, girl. Roll up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Shoulder roll back for me. There we go. There we go. You guys did so good today. You pushed through. Now, if you found, especially that Y raise, to be a little bit difficult, or you want more talk through, go ahead and switch directions through exactly how to do that one properly, please reach out to me or go visit my form program, because I have some exercises in there that I go through. I update it constantly, so I'm putting in new exercises as time goes on, and I want to make sure that you are doing moves like that correctly, because while they are so beneficial, if they are done incorrectly, they can do a lot of harm, okay? Just like any move done incorrectly can create a lot of harm. So I want to make sure that you are getting the best out of your workouts, all right? And that you are being able to strengthen what you need to strengthen, but also help your body with proper movement and limit compensation so that you guys can do daily function without having to worry about injury or, something else trying to work in place of another muscle. So anyways, at this point, I am rambling, but thank you for joining me, guys. It is week 4. You are here. You made it. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you, because at this point, a lot of people have quit. When it comes to weeks 2 and 3, a lot of people do quit. They drop out. They get into this little rut, and that's them. They may come back. They may start working on their health and fitness again, and if they do, congratulations. And if not, maybe they just need to find whatever path works best for them in their health and fitness journey, whether that's just focusing on nutrition, maybe it's just doing something as simple as walking each day, or whatever it may be, and that's okay. But I want you to know that you set out on a mission to finish this program, right? You are doing this for you. You are doing this for your why and for your goals, and I want to remind you of what you're here for. Keep fighting for those. Day in and day out, you are on your last week. You were almost there. Don't quit now, all right? With that being said, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you right back here for our next workout together. Have a great and amazing day, everyone.